Queen Ansurek, the final boss of the raid. Let's get her. Before the fight starts, make sure you're splitting up into 2 groups for this one. And you'll also want to assign one player to be the popper of one of the mechanics. In normal, you can have one person pop in that mechanic, but in heroic, you'll need 6 different players. And then you also need to split up the healers to dispel specific mechanics later on for heroic. Alright, starting off for the tanks, she's going to be doing Liquefy on the first tank. Make sure you're popping a cooldown for that. On heroic, Liquefy will also do Acid Explosion, which is going to be an AoE on everyone. Make sure you're just popping AoE heals for that. And also leaving a puddle on the ground, so make sure you're moving the boss out of that. Right after she casts Liquefy, the other tank wants to taunt immediately and pop CDs because she's going to be doing Feast, which is going to be a heavy healing absorption. And you want to be ready to take that hit immediately, because on heroic that will be doing more healing absorption based on the damage you took, so always be mitigating. The boss will be casting Reactive Toxin on a player, and on heroic it will be a couple players, so you want to move away from other players with the AoE circle. Don't go too far from the boss, but don't stack it on the boss, because we're going to be using this mechanic here in a second. Once the reactive toxin explodes on the players it was on, it will be leaving a circle on the ground. Within that circle will be a smaller circle that you will be using the players to run into to boop the team in the bigger circle, but you won't be using that until she casts Venom Nova, which is going to be a channel. She'll explode a big green Nova around her. That's when you want to use the player who's assigned to do the boop, run into the small circle to boop the team over the Nova. After the Nova, the players who pop the bubble to get everyone over the Nova are going to be getting Concentrated Toxin, which is going to be a big circle around them, so make sure you're getting out of the raid group with that and exploding that away from the raid. Silken Tomb, everyone's going to get little circles around them, so make sure you're not stacking it on each other, but you want to still stack close enough to each other, because once these Silken Tombs go off, it's going to be rooting everyone down, and you got to kill all the little tombs so you get out and free everyone. And on heroic, the roots will leave webs on the ground, so make sure we're that and moving out of that stuff. Web blades will be spawning web lines all over the ground. Make sure you are dodging those. For intermission, she'll jump to the middle of the room, webbing everyone, and also gain a big absorption shield that you're going to have to break. She'll have a circle around her as well, so make sure you're not going in that circle, otherwise you're going to be killed. And then she'll be casting Rest, which is going to be yanking players towards her, so you want to make sure you are far enough away where you're not getting pulled into her, so you don't get one shot. Also, during the intermission, she'll be doing Paralyzing Venom, which is going to be a big glob of waves coming at you. Make sure you're dodging those. And on heroic, during the intermission, everyone's going to have little circles on them, so make sure you are not standing on each other. After the intermission shield is broken, you'll be getting phase 2, which is when you want to split into your 2 groups, going on each side of the arena. Taking out the ad that's there, you want to kick his Shadow Blast. He'll also be casting Radiating Gloom, and also there will be Gloom Orbs on heroic that will be on a player, shooting orbs from that player, so make sure you're dodging those as well. When the ads are dead, they will be leaving an orb on the ground, which will be doing a big old knockback, and this is what you're going to use to go onto the platform that's right on the other side of where the ads spawn. Once on the platforms, there's going to be a couple ads. Tanks, you want to pick up the Chamber Guardians. Just be aware they're going to be doing Oust, which is a mini knockback. If you're close to the edge, you will get knocked down and die. And then the other caster ad will be shooting a beam, a line that's indicated by the blue beam. Make sure everyone's dodging that. And then the boss will also be doing the Rest ability, pulling you. So when you have that on your side, you want to make sure you're on the outer part of the arena, so when she pulls you, you're not getting yanked off the edge. When the ads are dead on your platform, you want to hit the crystals to create the little web bridge. There's going to be little mini spiders. Tanks, just make sure you're picking those up and everyone AoE and cleave them. Be careful crossing that bridge though if you have the Rest ability where she's about to yank you, because you will not have enough room to survive. On the second platform, it's going to be more ad killing, but you want to be prioritizing the Worshipper, because they will be doing a channel cast, and if that expires, you guys will die. Also on the second platform, Worshipper will be casting Gloom Touch, which will be leaving a dot that can be dispelled. On Dispel though, on heroic, it will be doing Gloom Blast, which will be doing a bunch of damage to everyone, so that's why you want to assign your healers and have rotating dispels ready to go. And just like before, you want to hit the little crystals, make the web bridge. Tanks pick up the little spiders, then you're going to be fighting the final ad up there, killing that ad. He's going to be spawning that little knockback orb that will launch you into the final phase. For phase 3, the tank mechanic is going to act the same as far as taunting, but it's going to be Infest now instead of Liquefy. So once you get Infest, the tank who has it, you want to get out of their group, because that Infest explosion is going to be spawning a bunch of spiders Everyone wants to prioritize killing these spiders and CCing them before they get to the boss, otherwise it will be doing huge AoE damage to everyone. And then for the tank who's not running Infest out, you're going to be getting hit by Gorge, which is a heavy attack, so make sure you're popping CDs for that. And then the tank who had Infest on him wants to run back and taunt after that Gorge cast, otherwise your tank is going to die, because Gorge leaves a heavy physical increased damage dot on you. The boss will be casting Royal Condemnation on a couple players. Those players want to get in front of the raid and the boss, because those will be exploding, doing decreased damage the further you are from them. On Heroic, after that explosion, there's going to be a couple ads that will spawn that will be webbing everyone, pulling them towards them. They'll have little circles on them, and if you get within that circle, you're dead. So you want to be killing those ads before they get anyone and running away from them at the same time. The boss will be casting Abyssal Infusion on a couple players, which is going to be AoE circles around them, so no one stack on those players. And then those players, one wants to be on the inside of the arena and one wants to be on the outside of the arena, because after they expire and explode, they're going to be leaving portals on the ground that you'll be using for the next mechanic. So she'll be doing her Gluttony cast, which is going to be a huge ring coming from the outside of the arena into where the boss is at. This is what you're going to be using those portals for. You can't go through the ring. If you try to just walk through it, you're going to die. So use the portal. Once it passes the outside portal, you'll use the inside portal to go to the outside portal and be safe on the outside and dodging the danger zone. On Heroic, after you use the portal, everyone wants to spread, because everyone's going to be getting little circles around them, and they'll be exploding, doing a bunch of damage if you're stacked on each other. The boss will be doing Queen Summons. She'll be summoning acolytes that will be spamming some cast on you. You want to prioritize these ads, burn them down, because if they're still alive while she does the Gluttony cast, you're going to die. And then on Heroic, when these ads die, they're going to drop some essence. Players need to pick up those essence. It will just be flowing on your head. You don't really need to do anything with it, except for not hit the Gluttony ring that comes in. You want to make sure you're using the portals, otherwise it's going to wipe the raid. And the essences will disappear once you use the portal, so you don't have to worry about it for too long. You want to make sure you have a different set of people picking up the next set of essence. You cannot have the same person pick up an essence. And that's it. The queen's freaking dead, dude. You beat the raid. The queen's dead. Let's get the hell out of here. If you found these guides helpful, please like and subscribe.